It was influenced by ES actually, and they were implementing the season approach. We were attending training, and it kind of fitted with what we wanted to do. We dropped topics, and children. We started thinking about children's learning and how it could be more organic, more in the moment. We fully threw ourselves into the season approach, and everything changed from there, really. Oh, enormous benefits. It's a really joyful approach as well. So, children just, they have their autonomy to go out and plant and to see actually where food comes from. It's not from the supermarket. They can actually care for themselves and care for other living things as well. So like I said, we mostly plant from seed, and children get to see the whole life cycle of that plant as well. They'll harvest seeds. So, for example, if you're growing tomatoes, once you've grown tomatoes once, you can grow them forever. So it's really cost effective as well. Teaching children life skills. So when they grow their produce, we cook with it. We share it with the parents and their families along with our recipes. And we're actually in a new era now of sharing our produce with the food bank. So we've hugely extended our garden. So we garden all year round, whether it's planting or harvesting. And children are really, they know how to go and look after these plants as well. So the learning that takes place, the maths, the language, we link our stories into our gardening as well. So that's really important, is linking their learning. Children have become fascinated by seeds, and they notice in their seeds in their fruit snacks, which led to children asking, can we plant the seeds that we find in our fruit snacks? And that was something we had to find out together and find out how to do that together. So we did. And, currently at this moment in time, we've got 5 little apple trees growing in our polytunnel. So, yeah, it's amazing learning for the children. Okay, so we kind of discussed this as a group, and we decided on videoing each other's practice. But the first person who will see that video when it's done is the practitioner. And they're able to look at it. I think we're our own best critics. We'll notice straight away things we could have done better, things we might change. So they always look at it first. So it's not a case of me saying, well, we could have done this and you should have done that. So it's a much kinder way to do it, because usually by the time we look at it together, it's a discussion of more to do with what we can do next time. So they come to that realisation themselves. And I think that really improves the quality of their own observations and of their own practice overall. We kind of delved into the principles. There's a set of principles in the Frobelian approach. And again, they fit perfectly with the new curriculum. So I'll just use a couple of examples. Froebel's idea of unity and connectedness. So that was very important to us. So as a team, we needed to be, have that unity in our vision, in our approach. And the same with our observations, because that unity and connectedness extends to the families and to the people who are important in these children's lives. So it's having parent observations as well, because they know their children best. So we try to have lots and lots of visits before the children start. So we know what we're going to be observing before they even come into us. We know we can set the environment up to try and make that transition a little bit easier for them when they're starting. Inviting parents in, so parents know what their children, the environment that they're going to be in, and they can help us and say, they love the baby dolls. So, and again, actually bringing those baby dolls in, we realised that was an area that needed developing, which was observed by the practitioners. And we talked about what we could do, and we thought about, equity, equality, diversity. So we decided to give the babies identities that reflected some of the children who come to the nursery. For example, we have children who are looked after children. So some of our babies are looked after babies. So we can tell the stories about them to give them that sense of belonging. Oh, amazingly. It was the EAS who kind of sort of started us on this journey of Caesar season, and the training opportunities have been fantastic, and they're repeated, and they're available to all the practitioners as well. So, you know, as a leader, I can go on training, but I can also send practitioners on training as well. So, you know, we're getting that same message. I mean, it's been invaluable to us. It was actually AS who kind of recognised that we might be following a Froebelian approach before the new curriculum, and kind of signposted us to the Froebel Trust. Which led to us having Froebel training, which then led to they kind of recognised that we were very Froebelian, and I've actually now been endorsed as a Froebel tutor. But this journey is going on, and I really, it's, you know, I can't even begin to measure how successful this approach has been, you know, and I hope other schools and settings, you know, not just in Wales but across the UK, would take this approach on, because it's just amazing. It's been incredible.
Really getting to know the children's likes and dislikes, what they're fascinated with. For example, we had this little boy and he would be straight outside, straight to the mud kitchen, weighing, measuring, cutting, peeling, you name it, he did it. So we showed him the little recipe cards we have here, and he picked to do fairy cakes. So we took him, we made some lovely fairy cakes with all the ingredients, and through a little bit of guidance with the weigh-in, he done the rest of it all independently. He had the freedom to do what he liked. He even recognised when the sugar and butter was ready to add the eggs into it. Also then when to add the flour into it. And he really thrived on that experience, I would say. And I wouldn't have picked up on that if I didn't observe him daily and knowing exactly where he was every day. Oh, well, they're much more happier. They just very joyful experiences here, and they're much more confident. And with the constant flow of new children here, it's nice to see them getting confident in those new experiences, such as weaving. Whereas we've had children who's been here a while, they really like to take the new ones under their wing and teach them how to do this. And it's a real pleasure to see the children so happy.